Yeah, those usually work for that. As well as the gates too, like the digi gates are good too on drums. Because a lot of times I end up automating those, the thresholds, or just bypassing them, because like if somebody's doing like a soft to loud build, your gates can cut that off, so it's nice to be able to just, automate the threshold or something. So.
How hard do you hit the SSL for rock and metal on individual tracks, and what dB level are the drums and bass hitting the mix bus?
The individual tracks are probably recorded just like I would record on tape. Guitars and bass and everything comes back right around 0 dU on the console.
Gotcha.
And so, obviously
we kind of found the sweet spot on this board for the whole mix coming out at about 0.
Yeah, right about 0.
If we hit it too hard, when we were bringing it back to bounce it, it was clipping.
Yeah, the transients get through a little
so you can go into the red, but you don't bury it.
These things have a lot of headroom, on the individual channels, and each channel has a little overload indicator. And so, like on individual drum hits and things, I don't worry about it too much.
Right, like the kick and the snare was overloaded.
Yeah, because by the time I, compress it, these compressors have an auto makeup circuit, so it adds a little gain on the back end too, and juice a lot of low end, and you're already sending a pretty hot signal, and the channel light up a little bit. But of course, like a vocal channel or something, if it's like in the red, it's going to be noticeable. It's not always the best thing, but there's a lot of headroom on these channels and this intersection too, so you can push them pretty far before you're really going to have an issue with it. But generally, I'm just right around 0 dU on all the channels, and the output bus, right around 0 +1, whatever. I used the Burl B2 Bomber as my converter to print my mixes back into Pro Tools. And the cool thing about that is there are no menus or anything. There's just like 3 knobs on the front of the thing for sample rate, click, 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 and for input level. And I can just jump in 2 dB increments, and just like if I'm hitting too hard, I can go up to like 20 dB reference instead of -18, or I can go to 22. And it's kind of cool because it has a transformer front end, so you can hit it a little harder and get those transformers a little juicy, and it makes it look nice.
Do you apply a high pass and or low pass filter on every track, or the mix bus, or on the mix bus?
No. I rarely use low pass filters. I use high pass filters a fair amount on channels, and it's really because tape, starts rolling off, 50 hertz or whatever, and I guess digital doesn't. So there's a lot of information that might be down there that you wouldn't necessarily need and could clutter up things. So a lot of times, things will, guitars and vocals and everything will get dropped off below 60 hertz or something like that. Pretty much across the board, I would say, is kind of the habit. But the only time I would use any sort of low pass filter is if something's just really, grating on my ears. They just had to go. So,
gotcha. Like your mother-in-law?
Yeah.
Do you put a high pass on vocals?
High pass on vocals?
Yeah, do you? How extreme?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times it just depends. Like some singers, if they're right up on the mic and eating it, and it gets boomy, then of course you're going to get rid of some of that first and foremost. And the low.
How would you explain?
It's very, very different from a Neve, for sure. It's very like forward sounding, very in your face. It's just like right there. It's like somebody talking loudly and close. That's kind of what it is. And that's why people like this for rock so much. They came out with the 9000J. I wouldn't hear that well. Sometime in the 90s, and they were just like, oh, so stoked about it. And like sonically, I'm sure you could hook up things to it and show that it was superior, but it just didn't sound too good. It was too polite. It was just like, it's for Celine Dion records, things like that. This is what rock is, is for. It's really just being in your face.
I bought the wrong board?
Where's
the string section?
So it's going in next week.
Does everybody know the story about why I bought this board? Besides the fact that I'm a glutton for punishment and crazy? I became friends with Ryan, and he's got a room in Silver Lake or wherever with a 4000, basically the same type of board. And we had just gotten finished mixing our record, and we had done it hybrid. We were in the box, but then we stemmed out to a summing mixer. 16 channels, and used outboard gear and everything, and it really sounded good. It came out great. And I took it into his studio, and we put our mix on a 2-track and had it there. And it took about 40 minutes to kind of, like he did here, split out the mix, panned everything, and just kind of leveled it off, got it sounding good, and we hadn't even done anything, and it sounded better than my mix. And it was like, I hadn't even done anything, and the weirdest thing was, on our mix, the guitars were like here, and then the vocal, like everything was crammed, and the guitars literally sounded like they were 2 feet wider, and this big gaping hole with me screaming my ass off, right? Of course I love that, get out of my way. But the kick, the snare, and the vocal, and the bass were just plowing the center. The guitars were way wider, and they sounded like chewier. It was just like, and literally, he hadn't even started mixing, it just was like, just splitting it out. It sounded better than, we spent 14 hours fucking around with every fucking whatever knob, bang, and it just sounded better. And it was like, and that's how it all started. I got home, then I went on Craigslist. And I found this one actually on eBay by a broker who had kind of falsified the listing.
Right.
Found it, somebody else was selling it, and anyway, tried to contact the guy, and he was in jail. But then I hunted down the owner, which was Dave Way, and then we went, and Dave made me an offer I couldn't refuse. And there you go.
And then I'm also the guy that told you, it's like, well, how hard is it to put one of these in? I'm like,
Yeah, 5 days! Wait a second, am I recording that? Hold on. Yeah, it's recording.
A couple of days, like,
it took us like 5 days.
The hardest part is just lifting it in the room. Once you set it down, you just plug in a few things.
Yeah.
Turn it on. It's easy. What can go wrong?
It was like day 7. We still hadn't turned it on. I'm like, whoa. Welcome to another reality.
Yeah, they don't like to sit unused.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He didn't use it much. Then it went to a storage unit for 1.5 years where it was moved around the storage unit the whole time. And then it was put on a truck and brought here. So by the time it got here, it was pretty well. I mean, think about it. You know what a 500 series rack is? With the little, this is like a 500 series rack. It's like everything slots into everything. So you've got like 5,000 things slotted in that are now all being bent around as it's being moved and moved and up and sideways. So everything was loose. So it was weeks of hunting down shorts and buzzes, and this isn't working, and that's not where, is it the ribbon, is it the pole, is it the patch bay, is it the Elco, is it the Delco, is it the Shelco? Julian was here for some of it.
Some of it, yeah.
But it works now.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, that's how I started.
So it's all your fault, right?
Yeah.
It really is.
He's the sales guy.
I'd be mixing in the box and happy as a clam. I'd be asleep right now.
Yeah, there really is something to it. I mean, there are a lot of guys out there who have success mixing in the box, and hey, I wish I was one of them, because it sure makes recalls easy, and you can sit in your bedroom and all that. It's great. So, but for me, and obviously for Chris or Brendan or Rich Kosky or any of these other guys, it ain't, and it's just to cut it. There is a difference, and it just opens things up and makes it where you can really reach through and pull things out, as opposed to just having sort of a jumbled mess. Anytime I try to mix, big rock trucks in the box, it just sounds like everything needs to be turned up louder. It's like, I need to turn the kick drum up. Now I need to turn the snare drum up. Now I need to turn these guitars up. It's like nothing ever seems like it's really open and realized and just in your face. It's just all kind of right there. And just instantly by just putting tracks through these faders, pushing them up, it's all just clear to me. Anyway, so it works for me. So I can show you this real quick. I was talking about turning up the rooms and some of these fills, so you can see like 7 and 8 there, how they come up on this end of this drum fill. So if you hear the snare kind of blow up a little more, right when you hit that last little fill. So that pay, instead of getting paid by the song, like you get paid by the song, but some artists would take 3 or 4 days to finish that song, so you're not really making good money anymore. But if you make a lot of money for the week, and you guys can take as long as you want. You know, I'm getting paid. You know, so I'd prefer to keep moving. You know, so I don't mind doing recalls. It's not that big of a deal. And it's, you know, it's always good when the artist knows that you're willing to work with them. It's weird, like a lot of Josh and I have gotten a lot of records when we'll just do a song with a band, like the Velvet Revolver guys. Like, man, I'm in high school, like playing GNR songs. And Slash was it. You know, these guys show up and like, this is awesome, you know. And then you just get to work and like they comment like, wow, it's just so easy working with you guys. Like it's just no, you know, everything just flows really easily, and that's just such a big part of it. Just it's not about you and what you want to do, and oh, you want to do that? I don't think, no, you can't do that. You know, it's like, okay, let's try it. Cool. Let's see what it sounds like. You know, and I don't think that's going to be cool in the end. You know, and just working with people. It's not about you. You know, it's about them. Their name's on the record. They got to live up to their record. You know. If they're lucky, they'll make another record. You'll get to make several. So they can make it good.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Awesome job tonight.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for doing it. Awesome. Without warning. Has this been a killer party or what?
Yeah.
It's, you know, starts with like the jazz fusion bassist from hell, then we get the rock band, and then you know Ryan teaching. It's just.
Did any other questions come through on the Magic Box?
No.
Satisfied.
Yeah.
Where are we at on the mix with this? Are we kind of taking them through everything?
Weird little moves and stuff, so we might need to go back to the other thing. Overnight mix.
I'd love to hear the mix with
Oh, well, we
the
know
compressor
you-
bypass
Oh, sure.
versus
Okay, sure.
because I've never really played with motor.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, that's what you guys should just start doing. Just put your hand in this. Do this first.
Take a picture of the settings.
And so the old mode on that is
Full context itself,
a lot of the
or like just scrolling through them is so much easier than a typical phone where you.
relates to things in the absence. Normally you don't have something like that. Yeah.
The only thing about it is,
We send different things into
always tethered.
as you're doing Q mixes or stuff like that for
Sometimes
headphones.
you're asking quick.
There should be another guitar cable somewhere.
Guitar cable. These are all speaker cables.
Yeah,
that
I
came
don't
from
know.
the
We'll find it.
PA.
Hey, Karina.
Hi.
Did you have fun today?
Yes,
It's your second day as the assistant intern. What do you think?
I like it.
It's pretty fun, huh?
Yeah, thank you.
That was a good second day, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you get to hang out with all the homies. You got to even hang out with Julian with 1L.
And it was
It's looking better in here. They're cleaning up. What you doing, homie? I know. Just Greg, can you just relax a little bit, please? We got too much going on here. I think we're missing a guitar cable.
which one?
One of the. Oh, you know what I'm trying to think it is? It's my long black George Lynch one. That's that.
I didn't see that one.
So I had fun. It was nuts, huh?
Crazy, yeah.
Cool
Had a
party.
blast. Had a blast. So, looking forward to the next one.
We gotta get together outside of the parties.
Okay, okay. Well, dude,
What's
you
your
know,
name again on Gear Slush?
Compy Q.
CompuQ. I can never remember that.
I know.
It's
I
such a-
should have chose something like more.
No, it's just in general. I just remember.
It's just generic. I just chose a generic screen name. I don't know why. I just you know.
Confidence in EQ.
Exactly. It was basically compression before equalization.
Ah. See.
And I was thinking, oh, I'll just do something that's technical, right?
Yeah, we always do it. Are you
EQ.
What? What is your name?
Fun, huh?
Yeah, just random different sounds and you got.
Killer, huh? Amazing feeling. It's so crazy. Isn't it cool?
Frontals with your hands.
Yeah.
What you want to do is you want to get right there with those little knobs and you want to turn up.
They did. Yeah, the Rocker 30 also.
You guys. Yeah.
And I was wrong with this setup and the Rocker 30. I thought, but I was asking Dan how the sound and sound good.
You know,
That Reeves rocks.
That's the one I'm looking at.
That's the one.
That's why I
The
wanna
Super
get it.
78.
Killer amp.
Ryan Williams. Thank you, sir.
Oh, you're very welcome. You know, wizardry going on and all this crazy
Yeah.
stuff that people know,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, it's just hard work and spending time in front of the speakers and getting your ears right, knowing what you're listening for and what you don't like, and that's it.
Thanks
no
so
smoke
much,
and mirrors,
Ryan.
no magic. Just
We did it. What a successful gig. And now we're going to recall the board.
so we should how to do that. You know how to read the total recall stuff. Yeah, so we'll list them first because you got a couple on there. Set up overnight is the one where we got selected, so we can just play that setup. And comes up and it says A for total recall auto scan, which is what we want. So you hit A and then execute, and then execute, and then hit the channel where you want to start, which will start on 1.